Hey everybody, my name is Tanay, and welcome to my Tunetorial. Today, we're going to be coding Dropped Out by Playboy Carti in TunePad. To get started, head on over to tunebad.com and sign in. Alright, we're going to make a song by Playboy Carti called Dropped Out. The first step to doing so is creating a new project in TunePad. Awesome! So the first step to writing our program or writing our song is we want to use what's called TunePad cells. I'm going to use the key cell because Playboy Carti loves to use keyboards. Now, I don't think I want a piano. I'm probably going to use a rock organ because, vamp anthem, you know what I'm saying? Awesome. Rock organ. Let's start off with using, a familiar command called play note to represent our melody. And to represent the notes in this melody, I'm going to use what's called a list, which can be defined by these two brackets here. And in that list, we're going to use numbers to represent the notes. So I'm going to do 44 and 56. Next, we can also reference how long we want these notes to play by doing beats equals 1. Cool, that's our first note. Let's program the next one. Once again, using a list. And you might be wondering where I'm getting these numbers from. If you look below, we can see that every note has a specific number to it, and that's how I'm able to program the notes into our melody. This one, I want it to play for half a beat. We have the melody, right, and we have the notes, but I also want to make sure we have the rhythm. So in order to get the correct rhythm, we have to use a command called rest, which will allow us to keep all of our notes played at the same time and in the same rhythm. After we use rest, we once again can play more notes to improve our melody. Once again, I'm going to use a list and play that for half a beat. Let's use it one more time. And this time, actually, I want to put a rest in here as well. Then go back to our play note and add some more notes. That looks pretty cool. Let's see how it sounds. Before we do that, let's make sure we have the correct BPM, which is a lot faster than what we have it set to right now. The BPM of Dropped Out by Playboy Carti is 160. Let's see how that sounds. Cool. It sounds good, but I don't think we're finished yet. So we're going to have to add in some more notes so that we can finish our melody. Awesome. So that's our first melody for Dropped Out. Let's see how it sounds. Sounds pretty good. Now let's get on to the next melody. Alright, let's add a new cell to make our second melody for Dropped Out by Playboy Carti. We're going to hit add a cell, and we're going to use keys again. But this time, I want to change the instrument because rock organ, while it's cool, I think we need a little variety. So we're going to go to keyboard and I'm going to use the crystal organ instead. Sounds pretty cool, right? Now we're going to use our play note once again. Make our list with the numbers that represent our notes. And play it for 6 beats. Now you might be asking, why do I want to play it for so long? The answer is I really want these chords to stand out in the song. So the longer that they're played, the more that you'll be able to hear it in the music. We're going to end this melody with another play note with 2 more notes. We're going to use that and play that for 2 beats. Cool. This is our second melody. Let's give it a listen. That sounds pretty cool, but let's see how it sounds with our first melody, because that way we'll really know if it sounds good. I think that sounds really sick. So now we can get on to the drums. Alright, so now that we have our melody down, it's time to program the drums. So we're going to once again add a cell, but this time we're going to use the drums instead of keyboard because we don't want our keyboard to sound like drums. and we're going to use what's called a for loop to help us write the hi-hats for the drums. Now, why are we using a for loop? Well, I'm kind of tired of writing the play note command, so I'm going to have the for loop do it for me. So we're going to say for note, or for I in range 0 to 32, because I want this hi-hat playing as many times as possible in our melody, because that's kind of how the song sounds. We're going to play note number 4, because number 4 is our hi-hat, and we're going to play it for half a beat. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds like a hi-hat to me. Now, we can also add the snare drum in a similar way. Once again, we're going to add cell, go to the drums, and then we're going to use a for loop to have us write the play note function a bunch of number of times. But I don't want the snare drum to play exactly the same way the hi-hat does, right? We want to give it a little bit of variety so that our drums sound pretty cool. So I'm going to use the rest command to give us a little gap between the hi-hats and the snare, and then we're going to play that note. Let's see, I kind of want the clap sound because that sounds pretty cool. So we'll use that sound and we'll play that for 2 beats. Let's see how that sounds. Now, let's see how that sounds with the hi-hat, because we want to make sure our rhythms are all set to go. Sounds pretty good to me. And now, we're going to get on with the kick drum. Last but not least, we got to code in the bass, because that's what makes the song go from good to great. It's pretty simple. We're going to add in a cell, and this time we're using the bass cell. And just like what we did for our drums, we're going to use a for loop to help us repeat the same melody over and over again. So, I'm going to say for I in range 0 to 1, we want to play a note, and we want this note to be as low as possible so that we can really feel it more than we can hear it. So I'm going to do note 13 and play that for about 3 beats. Then I'm going to play it again, but this time we'll play it for half the amount of time because I want to really have this bass note hit hard. Then I'm going to play it once again because twice is never enough, and we'll play it for half the amount of time. Then I'll play it again because I just love bass and it's my favorite part of the song. So we're going to add in another note. Now, we don't want to add in too much, right? So I'm going to give a little gap between our melody, just only half a beat, but then we're going to bring the bass in back again. And we're going to play it once again for half a beat. And let's see how that sounds. Cool. Now, it might sound cool, but I kind of want more, if you know what I'm saying. So what we could do is go to the mixer and click on bass and turn that stuff all the way up. Now, we're going to really be able to hear it along with the rest of our song. Let's see how it sounds. Awesome, and that is Dropped Out by Playboy Carti on TunePad. I hope you had fun writing Dropped Out by Playboy Carti in TunePad, because I sure did. And thank you so much for watching my Tunetorial. Be sure to check out other videos that have different songs that you might want to learn. See you in the next one!